From New Jersey to Maine, more than 1 million people are still without power. A massive snowstorm dumped more than 30 inches of snow in some parts of the Northeast. The wet, heavy snow took down thousands of trees. It also brought down many power lines. Massachusetts, Connecticut, Maine, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, New York, and Pennsylvania were all affected by the storm over the weekend. New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts have all declared states of emergency as utility crews are rushing to restore power. Government utilities say that at one point there were more than 3 million people without power due to the storm. Flood victims in Minot are benefiting from a golf tournament in Colorado. The Sanctuary from the Surahs fundraiser was held last month at Sanctuary Golf Course south of Denver. The check was just presented to the city of Minot last week. Governor Jack Dalrymple took part in the event, which raised $250,000. The money will go to help the over 10,000 people that were displaced by the flooding Souris River in Minot earlier this year. United Nations demographers announced today that they estimate the population of the world to be 7 billion people as of today. While it is impossible to know the exact population of the world, it is possible to have a fairly accurate estimate, or at least be within 28 million. The United States Census Bureau estimates the world population is 28 million fewer than the United Nations demographers estimate. The difference between the two is less than 0.5%. Regardless of who is correct, one thing is for certain: the world's population is increasing substantially every day. The Census Bureau estimates that 255 people are born and 106 people die every minute. This translates into a global population increase of 214,000 people every day. With Muammar Gaddafi finally gone, Libya had room for a new leader. Today they got one. Libya's interim leadership has chosen an electronics engineer as their new leader. Abdelrahim Al-Kib has been named the Prime Minister of Libya today. In coming days, Al-Kib will appoint a cabinet. Together, they will lead the country towards general elections. Arizona law enforcement today announced that over the last 6 weeks, it has arrested 76 people associated with smuggling drugs from Mexico to the United States. Authorities say they believe all the arrests are linked to the Sinaloa cartel based in Mexico. It is estimated that the drug cartel has smuggled more than 10,000 pounds of heroin, 20,000 pounds of cocaine, and 3 million pounds of marijuana into the U.S. over the last 5 years. Authorities estimate all these drugs have resulted in more than $2 billion in profit. Arizona law enforcement says they know they have not won the battle against the cartel, but these arrests show progress. Well, a Miami police officer was arrested at gunpoint after a state trooper saw him traveling at speeds up to 120 miles per hour, weaving in and out of traffic. The officer was in uniform and traveling in his squad car. The Florida Highway Patrol said Fausto Lopez initially ignored the lights of the state trooper who tried to pull him over. He did eventually pull over, at which point he was arrested. Officer Lopez told the Highway Patrol he was speeding because he was late for his job working security at a school. Well, it's certainly getting colder outside. Jessica Gulseth is in now with some evidence that winter is approaching.
Welcome back. Hope you all enjoyed your weekend. This afternoon was a little breezy, but we saw a high of 55 degrees. As night falls, we'll see a low of about 37 degrees. Tomorrow, a few clouds in the sky, and again it will be a little windy with a high near 50 degrees. Tomorrow night will drop down to about 28 degrees, so stay warm. Wednesday will be sunny and a little cooler with a high in the mid-40s. Thursday and Friday, we'll see highs in the upper 40s, almost 50. If we take a quick look at the weekend, Saturday looks like we could see a little bit of rain. Looks like a good end to October as we made it another month without snow. That's your look at the weather, Jamestown. Now back to you.
Thanks, Jessica. Well, the Jimmy football team played what will likely be their last game of the Dakota Athletic Conference. They played Dickinson State on Saturday. The Blue Hawks defense prevented the Jimmies from scoring more than 7 points for the whole game. Meanwhile, the Jimmy defense allowed the Blue Hawks to score 29 points. The Blue Hawks gained 335 yards in all, while the Jimmies only gained 204. The Jimmy men's basketball team started out strong against the University of Winnipeg. The Jimmies scored the first dozen points and ended up winning with a final score of 76-57. The women's basketball team also played the University of Winnipeg. However, they didn't start their game out with the same lead as the Jimmy men. They were down 13-2 at the beginning of the game, but managed to pull off a win with a final score of 77-61. The Jimmy soccer teams played Great Falls yesterday. The men's team was behind 0-1 at halftime, but they tied it up before the end of the game and managed to score the winning goal with 44 seconds left in overtime. The final score was 2-1. The women's soccer team had a good first half with a 3-1 lead. Great Falls fought back hard though in the second half and managed to beat the Jimmies by 2. The final score was 5-3. Well, that's the news for this Monday, October 31st, 2011. I'm Kaleb Hruby. Please join us again tomorrow when we'll once again be connecting the campus with the community.